Our California assets have been activated in 6 cities. Our quest is to transform youth through hands-on learning labs in Sacramento, Oakland, Fresno, San Luis Obispo, Los Angeles and San Diego. There's been a paradigm shift, and our social heroes are uniting statewide.
Dear Agent of Change, this is a private transmission from Social Assistor announcing that our Los Angeles assets have been activated. Our objectives triangulate on a vision that builds, seeks, and energizes resources for Black males in the state of California. Our goal is to showcase Black leadership in education, housing, sports and entertainment in hopes of building on the college and career pathways, culture-filled representation, mentorship, and hands-on leadership development needed to thrive in a post-pandemic state. Get involved. We are building our virtual board of directors. Nominate a leader here or stay connected for 2022 activations by joining the mailing list.
Let's listen to a world-class master trainer for pro athletes and celebrities. ripenslab brings past, present, and future training modalities to human performance. His expertise has taken Olympians and NHL hockey prospects to new levels.
In the past, there wasn't a big focus on that portion of the training world or the performance world as far as recovery or even really much like movement preparation for whatever it is you were going to do. A lot of times people just went in it, maybe hopped on a bike if they came from a bodybuilding or fitness gym background and then went into the work. Maybe some guys in the sports performance world did some dynamic stretches, but it wasn't as detailed or focused or even more so complex as it is now. Now there's tons of technology that's used, whether it be percussive devices like the Hyperized line, the Hyperized sphere, where it's the ball, it vibrates, and you can do many different things as far as soft tissue work that helps to prepare the body of the person, the athlete, to do work. Then also you have the percussive guns that, generally speaking, will do the same thing, but can be utilized maybe in a little more focused fashion, and to where you can get a little bit more specificity in some areas on what you're doing. A-System is the company that I work with, and they have a CBD topical cream, and the skin absorbs the CBD. It helps to give pretty instantaneously relief to whatever area you apply it to. It has CBD added to it, which definitely taps into the nervous system to give a little bit more of the relief to the individual. So all these things and even more are applied and utilized in the world of exercise science, ultimately to make a better athlete.
Learning labs coming to a city near you. STEM, arts, esports, entrepreneurship, and cyberspace and security. Pre-registration is open now. Activate your seat.
And the way I like to talk about people, I have pro athletes, right? People that want to go on the pro track of whatever sport that they're playing. Then I have everyday athletes, and we are all everyday athletes. Nike has a saying, if you have a body, you're an athlete. And my everyday athlete kind of aligns with that motto, that mindset, because we all want to be better performers. If we're going to be here living this life, and hopefully we can all live a long life, we might as well live the best life with the best body we can possibly have. My name is Maury Cole of La Jolla Alcohol Research, Inc. My main job is to design neuroscience equipment for drug dependency studies for all types. But one of the main things I want to do is bring all of that into the classrooms in my neighborhoods so that my kids can understand, drug dependency, drug behavior, and have the time and also have this type of technology at their fingertips the same way the white kids do. And my company, we sell over $1.3 million worth of this equipment a year. I've been in business for 20 years and I can still count on one hand, how many black neuroscientists that I've ever sold equipment to. So to bring this type of equipment to our high schools, and instead of like where I'm at in La Jolla, California, they might go and get all the best students from the high schools, but only 1 or 2 of those students might be black. They get to come up and be even involved in a summertime program for science, period. What we want to do is put this in every classroom. So if there's 30 black kids in that classroom, because they're not going to send 30 black kids to La Jolla, but I want...
It's your California realtor, Sydney Chapman here, and we are here on location. The California government just announced we are in a state of emergency. The housing crisis is imminent. How do we support emerging black households in this scarce housing market?
I don't do this for the housing. I do this because this is the battleground that I chose, or the divine design has laid out before me to advocate for my people. And then he sent me another text and he was like, what about the black males? I was like, oh yeah, right? That's what this is about. And that's kind of what motivated me to learn more about housing and making an impact in housing, is because black males is and has been the biggest victim in housing discrimination. And we can go about different scenarios and how that plays out in the community, but I'm here today to tell you the good news and how we're overcoming the barriers that have been set out in this housing system of over $20 billion a year that's allocated to low-income housing and rental subsidies, even to buy a home, right? That's a part of that budget. And so I'm here to hopefully empower and be an asset to our community.
Now, as far as neuroscience goes, we don't have enough resources for the doctors. We don't have our kids having enough access to this type of equipment. It's always just going to the privileged. And then you have them picking one of us. And that's the part that's really pissing me off, because it's always them picking one of us. We don't get to pick one of us. It's one of them picking one of us, And then those are the kind of things that we really, really have to change. And through my science and my technologies, that's what I dream about doing. One of the main reasons why is that when our kids get in trouble, we don't know about any of this stuff until we're in the hands of the law. That's why we end up in juvenile hall. We don't get the second and third and fourth chances. So if our kids start learning about this at an early age and it's sort of secondhand, because a lot of times when kids learn about drugs, it's in somebody's backseat, and somebody, a bad kid is teaching our kid how to do drugs. At least this version, we get to teach our kids about drugs in the classroom firsthand. And instead of it being rats and mice like what I sell to research companies, it'll be facial recognition. So that kid will be the one getting high, and his face will start to change over time of doing methamphetamine through e-vape technology. Then just want to keep on breaking it down. We have a camera on here that's going to take a picture of his face. And then as he's running the experiments that we would run in the lab, his face starts to change over time. So we can see what he's looking like, in a real-time situation. Maybe we'll be speeding it up from, say 1 month is like a whole year. But, start to see his face, start to slump, you get the bumps, all of that. So it was like, I want to see the mental part of it, where a kid is coming to class and he's going to dose himself and watch his face change. So if we can start to get to them before it gets to that situation, does that mean that we're never going to have a kid do drugs? No. They'll probably dabble in it, but they probably won't be ODing on it, and at least they'll know something about it before it gets to that point.
Ooh, they tryna turn my soul into a cash crop. Yeah, the program got me focused on my have-nots. There feels me on no Superman, we need a real hero with a black pill for every single one that's walk around the matrix and they still feel. Finally I'm waking to my self-worth. Yeah, when I go to heaven, had to go to hell first. On the red off like a dog, stagnate, little talking about I fight, and I'm feeling like, we need help now with these meltdowns, cause my diet is more than my food, my music, my thoughts, and the words that I choose. Electric immune systems, a planet that's orbited by a molecular moon. Doctor gonna say what I could do. There's a pharmacy inside of you. Can't afford to be ignorant. Oh, it's more than a treatment. What about the prevention? Like,
We are the educational resource. Social Assistor, signing out.